And we back! Today we're adding 30 random NBA legends to one draft class. We start off here where we spin the wheel, and we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then I'm gonna do a random number generator, and we're getting the 6th best player on the all-time Timberwolves roster. So the first player we're adding to the draft class is Stephon Marbury. We're doing this 30 different times to get 30 NBA legends, and we're gonna sim a few years into their career to figure out how they fare in 2023. Today's video is brought to you by SeatGeek. Hit the link in the description, download the SeatGeek app and use code Kenny because they're giving you $20 off your first purchase of tickets. SeatGeek has been a sponsor for a while because I never buy tickets from any other place. They take tickets from all across the internet and put them in one singular location so you can have the easiest experience possible. How easy, you ask? Let me show you. Let's say I want to go to a Bulls game. I type in the Chicago Bulls and find the game I want to go to. You're gonna see a picture of the venue and a bunch of dots. The greener the dots, the better the deal. Or you could just go down here and this tells me these two tickets have a 9.9. They're an amazing deal. This is a scale of 10, y'all. So this is like almost the perfect deal. And it shows you exactly what you would see once you're at the game. Sporting events, concerts, Broadway, comedy. If you can get tickets, SeatGeek probably has it. So hit the link in the description, download the SeatGeek app and use code Kenny so they can give you $20 off your first purchase of tickets. We next got the 4th player on the Miami Heat. And I had no idea that Jimmy Butler have climbed up the ranks of the Miami Heat history, that he is considered the 4th best player in franchise history. Jimmy Butler is getting redropped into the draft. And no, I'm not showing you all 30 spins because I want it to be a surprise once we get to the draft. But I'll show you some players like 24-year-old 90 overall Blake Griffin being dropped in 2022. The 2nd best player in Trailblazer history, Bill Walton. Welcome to 2022. An era where I think he would fare well because even though he can't shoot like most modern bigs in basketball, he does have a great mid-range jump shot, but the passing IQ, the passing vision, and the consistency and the defense is gonna make him one of the best bigs in basketball. Obviously, he's already at 95, and yes, we're putting the current version of them and not a rookie version because you can't find a rookie version of every single player, and Bill Walton at 95 comes in immediately, makes a huge impact for some team. I put the random number generator the way it is for a specific reason. We're gonna Washington Wizards on this spin. Because though all 15 players on every single historic team is considered a legend, some are weighed differently than others. So like the 15th best player in Charlotte Hornets history is a lot worse than the 15th best player in Lakers history. So I decided to go top 8 because I feel like no matter what, we're gonna get players that we know at least and that are at least decent. We're getting the 3rd best player, and I think that was Wizards history, and that's gonna be no chill Gilbert Arenas, a guy with some wild takes post-career, and now he's playing in the same league with the people he criticizing. So I need to see if you're gonna do your thing. I mean, he's a 93 immediately, so yeah, he probably will. But you get what I'm saying. You know, you're gonna have to show something. Let's get another live spin and see what we get. We're going to the Phoenix Suns, and we're getting player number 7 in Suns history, which is Tom Chambers. Which is fine, again. Please run away from getting Jason Kidd. Tom has a 3-level score. He can do a little bit of everything. 83-point shot as a power forward is actually great for today's basketball. So you know what? This is actually a double W pickup for whatever team ends up drafting him because he can do a little bit of everything. And the defense ain't as bad as I thought it was going to be down low. Perimeter defense, maybe not keeping up with a lot of the forwards in today's basketball, but he'll be all right. Great rebounder. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, why am I trying to be disrespectful? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm acting like he's a scrub. He's obviously great. He wouldn't be on this legend list if he wasn't. I won't tell you what team it is yet, but we did just get the best player in history. And that's what this video is for. Ooh, I cannot wait. And it happened again. Oh man, there's a this is a legend video, but there's a lot of top-end legends getting drafted today. This is our last spin. Right here, right now, to get the 30th player that we will be putting into the draft class. It's going to be a former, yes, 100% former. I was going to say or current, but there's no current players on the Pistons that are considered top 8 players of all time in franchise history. And we get the 5th player, which is Chauncey Billups as the last dude to get added to the class. Now I really got my work out for me because I got to create all of these dudes and put them into the class. So I'll be back. This gonna seem like this for y'all, but it's gonna be a long time for me. The simulation is finally underway. I gave everybody back their 1st round pick because I didn't want everybody being drafted to the OKC Thunder. So they get 1 pick And I mean, if you can finesse some other GM to give it to you again, then hey, you deserve it. But right now, we're on an even playing field. This is a year you definitely want to tank, or maybe not, because the 30th pick is still giving you a NBA legend, you know? If you care about your one champion, it is the New Orleans Pelicans in Game 7 versus the 76ers, where they put up 45 points in that closing quarter, sheesh. And Finals MVP went to Brandon Ingram. Okay, great. NBA lottery time again. It's a world where you be alright if you don't get the first overall pick, but obviously you get to pick who you want. Every single team in the lottery kept their pick, so that's fun. Here we go. What team is winning it all? It will be the New York Knicks, followed by the Kings, the Raptors, the Spurs, and the Rockets. All right, Knicks fans, you got a crazy amount of NBA legends. Which one will you select? We about to find out right here, right now. With the first overall pick of the 2003 NBA draft, the New York Knicks select Hakeem Olajuwon. 97 overall center. He's 32 years old, but who cares? He's Hakeem. He has no flaws. I mean, he doesn't have many flaws. I'm going to say he's got no flaws. And the best center y'all have had since ever. Y'all have never had a center as good as Hakeem Olajuwon. Never. Shout out to Patrick Ewing, but never. Hakeem Olajuwon was up here, and Patrick Ewing was like down there. He was still an all-star, obviously. Second overall pick, the Sacramento Kings select Carmelo Anthony. Another guy. No, Carmelo's number 2 for the Nuggets, right? Or something like that. Carmelo Anthony is going to play with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. All right, all right. Pick number 3 in the NBA draft. Toronto Raptors select Bill Walton. Y'all saw us create Bill Walton or end up with Bill Walton. They've been looking for a center. Now you can finally have Pascal run the 4, which he normally does. And he fits the mold because he's good on defense and he passes well. That's actually a really, really good pick. Now, there's some people on this list that might be better players than Bill Walton all time. But for what the Toronto Raptors are trying to do, I think that's a good pick. The 4th pick in the NBA draft is Dirk. And Dirk is going to play with the young dudes in San Antonio. Dirk was one of the few one-of-ones that was drafted. Hakeem Olajuwon obviously was another one of them. Dirk goes to the Spurs, and the Spurs have some money this offseason, so I'm hoping that since they have Dirk, they might be willing to spend a little bit. The 5th overall pick goes to Chris Paul. He's back in Houston. Him and Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun should be interesting, but he's back in Houston for the 2nd time in his career. The 6th overall pick is Penny Hardaway, and he's going back to Orlando. And he also fits them because, you know, they like people that are tall. Bobo, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and now 6'7" point guard Penny Hardaway is drafted back. 8th overall pick in the draft goes to Vince Carter. I'm actually surprised that the OKC Thunder was this low in the draft. But now it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and prime Vince Carter. Prime Vince Carter? That's ridiculous. Next, the Charlotte Hornets get Grant Hill to pair alongside LaMelo Ball. Okay. I'm looking. There's another center out here. I don't know. I always think of LaMelo Ball and think that he deserves an elite level center. So I see a couple centers on this list. I'm like, man, they probably could have drafted him. But this is injury list Grant Hill. So who knows what's going to really happen. Next, this guy's referring to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to Detroit. The 10th overall pick is Jerry Lucas. All right, Jerry going to play with Damian Lillard and stuff. Again, a really good pickup because if I'm not mistaken, he's the best player in Kings history or number 2 or something like that. So they got a real stud. The 11th overall pick, Allen Iverson, was just sitting in the green room like, are they serious? He's going to Utah to play with Larry Markkinen. It's still Larry's team, AI. Make sure you know that. Next pick, number 12, is Gilbert Arenas to play with Bam Adebayo. Jimmy Butler is in this draft. So Jimmy Butler doesn't play for the Heat anymore. So it's basically Bam, Gilbert Arenas, and Tyler Hero over there. 13th overall pick is Jimmy Butler. He's going with, Bradley Beal. All right. I'm actually surprised it hasn't been a trade just yet. Steve Nash. Yeah, they do need good point guard play in Minnesota, but matter of fact, I'll talk about that in a second. Steve Nash is a new point guard of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Next, the 15th overall pick, Fat Lever, is the new point guard for the Phoenix Suns because you saw earlier Chris Paul got drafted. So they really had no point guard other than Cameron Payne. So then they got Fat Lever, one of the greatest names in NBA history. Next, Chauncey Billups is going to LA. Who else is still available? I can't be mad at this pick. I'm looking at who's left. I cannot be mad at this pick. Yeah, there are some people that are maybe better, but you're going to have AD, LeBron, and a rookie contract Chauncey Billups. If you let Russ go, you still have, and all the other pieces, you still have another max contract position. And now the Lakers are primed to be good. Now, will they actually use that max spot to get somebody good? I don't know. Next, we have Sidney Moncrief. Now, Sidney Moncrief is one of those players where I was very curious where he will be drafted because he's somewhat of a specialist. Like, obviously, he can't hit the mid-range. He can hit, dunk and stuff like that. But you pay this man to play defense. 96 perimeter defense. So, is that the shooting guard? So, it's going to be Tyrese, Sidney Moncrief, and Benedict Mathurin. Can't be mad at it. Can't be 99 lat quickness, 94 IQ on defense, pass perception. He's just a defensive stud. 10 badges defensively, and a lot of them Hall of Fame and a lot of them gold. He's a two-way inside the arc maestro. Next, we have the Brooklyn Nets select. Oh, trade. We got our first trade. You gonna trade away the opportunity to potentially draft an NBA legend? You better be getting an NBA legend back. You do. They traded to get Gilbert Arenas. Kyrie Irving is probably bye by then. Kyrie Irving is probably bye by. They get 2 point guards in this deal. And the 18th overall pick is going to the Miami Heat, who trade down to get Stephon Marbury. And they got off the books for Kyle Lowry's contract. So maybe that's a W trade. Blake Griffin is playing. Oh, prime Blake Griffin with Nikola Jokic? Oh, man, that sounds like must-see TV. 20th overall pick, the Chicago Bulls select Tom Chambers, who we talked about earlier, stud, power forward. So DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Tom Chambers, and Vucevic. Can't be mad. Lonzo Ball there too. Ooh, can't be mad. Karl Anthony Towns is also here. That's why we talked about earlier about Steve Nash getting drafted to Minnesota. I was like, oh, they need a point guard, but I forgot that Karl Anthony Towns was no longer on the team. Instead, he's in Milwaukee. And you thought that Brook Lopez stretched the floor well for Giannis? You ain't seen nothing yet. Questions are surrounding Brook Lopez's impending free agency status or whether or not he will resign. Regardless of the outcome, I really like Karl Anthony Towns and his long-term outlook as an NBA prospect. Absolutely. He's a 90 overall already. Sean Kemp gets drafted to play alongside Luka. Okay, pick and roll. Pick and roll is going to be elite. Throw them lobs. Throw them lobs. As I'm recording this video, it's Sean Kemp's birthday. I think I saw that on Twitter when I woke up. So, happy birthday, I guess. The Cleveland Cavaliers are trading away their pick, 23rd, for Jimmy Butler. 23rd for... So, Garland, Mitchell, Butler, Mobley, Allen? Cavs Nation. The land, whatever you want to call it. And the Wizards trade down to get Mighty Mouse. We'll see if that's the right play. I guess, yeah, we'll see. Derek Coleman gets drafted to the Boston Celtics. Not a bad fit. That's the replacement for Al Horford right there. The Atlanta Hawks select Joe Johnson. That's beautiful because Joe Johnson is a Atlanta Hawk legend. He's back. The Warriors are going to select Bernard King for the 3 position. An absolute bucket. We got Ben Wallace going to the Clippers, so they need a center. And Ben Wallace is one of the better ones in recent history. Ben Wallace, 27th overall pick. 28th is going to go to a guy that I literally didn't know who he was. He's an 85 overall from the Pacers. Paint beast. Not a shooter, but looks like he scored a lot in the paint. Defensively, it looked like he was good defensively. Matter of fact, let me look him up. So yeah, we mentioned Pacers. These are ABA days, if I'm not mistaken. ABA all-time team for sure. 2-time champ, but he played in Indy. He had seasons where he averaged 20. I don't know what to expect. I'm be honest with you, but he's here. Neto is his name. Neto Licky. Bob Neto Licky is a dope name. So he's going to the Grizzlies. See how that goes out for them. 2 more picks left. Who's even... okay, I see who's next. I see who's left, and Tony Allen gets drafted to the 76ers. And that was the guy I was thinking about. Who's last, though? Oh, no way he's last. The last pick in the draft. Wait, no. Wait, I may have forgot to put him in there. I forgot to put him in. Oh, I had a feeling I was forgetting something. Okay, no big deal. Whoever that was, who just drafted 30th, the Pelicans, I will give you the guy that would have been last, even though he's better than a few people that were drafted before him. It's Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins is going to, was that the Pelicans? He's going back to the Pels? So that will be the last pick in the draft. We will make him Boogie Cousins and we'll move on. W draft, if you ask me. I think a lot of people filled the holes that they needed in their organization. And, oh, they got Mitchell Robinson, Larry Nance. They got a lot of center play, but they're getting a better one, I guess. Now we have a prime Boogie. Even though it says he should be a 90, I did all the attributes, all the badges, and he ended up being an 89. Who cares? He's here, and so is everybody else. Okay, so we're going to simulate to the start of the next season. I'm going to make sure that every lineup is optimized because I'm thinking about the Toronto Raptors. They drafted a center, and technically Pascal is a center. I don't want them to have Pascal coming off the bench, so I'm going to make sure every lineup is exactly the way it should be. Let's quickly go through some teams that I think are about to be really, really good out of nowhere. I mentioned the Bulls look solid, but now they got Willie Hernan-Gomez as their center, so maybe not. The Cavs, obviously, come on, man. That team is ridiculous. If that ain't the heavy favorite to win the championship year one, I don't know who is. But the Boston Celtics also look really good. They still got Marcus Smart off the bench and Howard Wolford off the bench too, so they look good too. The Orlando Magic not winning the championship, but they signed Kyrie Irving. And signing Kyrie Irving to put with Penny Hardaway plus the other dudes is real fun. The Pacers are like low-key gonna be nice. Somehow they either traded for or signed Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma from Washington. So it's them two with Ben, Sidney Moncrief, and Tyrese Halliburton with Buddy Hield still there coming off the bench. And they got a little bit of cap space too. So I don't know how the heck they spun that to make it happen like that, but they look all right. The Pelicans also look good. They got a lot of centers in their rotation, but they also look good. Pistons sneaky good. Chris Middleton is back to Detroit. And I mean, you put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on almost any roster, they gonna look good. You know the Raptors play positionless basketball, so I let them put OG at the 2, Scotty at the 3, Pascal at the 4, and Bill at the 5. OKC is getting better and better every season, and now they got a 35-year-old Kevin Love at the 4. They gonna be nice in a few years. And then the Warriors are the Warriors. They got Wiggins coming off the bench for Bernard King. And yeah, so I think there might be a team or two in there that might surprise us. But right now, everybody looks at least decent, and that's all I ask for. The Cavs must be ridiculous right now because Donovan Mitchell just won MVP, 50-40-90 for him, 57-46-90. He was, the only thing, he was this close to not getting that 90% free throw, but he did. Bill Walton won Rookie of the Year. I mean, I knew that Bill was going to come in and be elite. I didn't think 23, 11, and 7.5 elite with 2 blocks. So he definitely did his thing. They eventually moved Pascal to the bench. I ain't had no control over y'all, so I gave him the starting spot. They moved him to the bench. I mean, maybe it worked out because they got the Rookie of the Year and the 6th Man of the Year. I don't know. Ben Wallace, the rookie, the first rookie, I'm assuming, to win Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie, man. That's crazy. 2.5 blocks, 1.3 steals. He is a center shooting 47% from the field and 32% from the free throw line. It's got to be a low all-time record low, right? Got to be. There's no offense or buts about it. Tyler Hero averaged 32.8 on 50-40-90. What the heck is happening in this sim? I forgot. They got a point guard. Was it Chauncey? Or was it Damon Stoudemire? They got a point guard in the draft. So that point guard was setting bro up something ridiculous. JB Bickerstaff, so obviously they won 66 games. I cannot believe that. So Luka, Giannis, LeBron, and Joel Embiid. So no NBA legend ended up on All-NBA first team. That's interesting. Second team sees Sean Kemp. So Luka and the Mavericks must be nice if Sean Kemp is on the second team. Grant Hill, 24, 7, and 9 assists. Love to see that from Grant. And the third team sees Gilbert Arenas, 27, 8, and 5. It sees Vince Carter, 29, 6, and 5. Jerry Lucas, 17, 13 and a half, and 7. Bill Walton on third team. Again, he was really, really good. Defensive team, almost all throwback players. Sidney Moncrief, who we knew was drafted specifically to play defense. I did not know Fat Lever was an elite level defender in his day, so we're learning new stuff every single day. Great rebounder at 6'3", I see. Wow. Jerry Lucas we saw because of the rebounding, and then Ben Wallace was Defensive Player of the Year, and Giannis just sprinkled in there as well. Second team, we have Lonzo, Shea, Sean Kemp. Oh, I think the Dallas Mavericks might be here, and Hakeem Olajuwon, former first overall pick, gets that as well. The rookie teams, we already looked at all of these dudes. The second team, Stephon Marbury is the guy that's with Tyler Hero. He's not notoriously... I stand corrected. I was going to say he's not notoriously a point guard. That says otherwise. Also, 50-40-90, the most... I'll be overreacting to 50-40-90 because in real life it's rare. In the game of 2K, I mean, you have 9 people per season that get it. So let me stop overreacting. But he did do it. I mean, 25-12 is ridiculous on 50-40-90 as a rookie. But again, he's a 91 overall rookie. Whatever. Steve Nash is here. And he is a point guard type thing. I'm actually surprised he's not 50, 40, 90 because that's normally what he'd do. Dirk, 30. Oh, my God. I can't wait to look at everybody else's stats. Okay, let's look at everybody else's stats because Dirk was averaging 30, and he ain't even get mentioned in nothing but a rookie second team. You know what I'm saying? League leaders, Tyler Hero led the league in scoring. Again, super wild to me. Donovan Mitchell MVP, and then Dirk was 4. Okay, 29 for Vince Carter, and then a lot of the other people. Let's see rebound numbers. Jerry Lucas led with Ben Wallace again, 6'9" and 6'8", man. You ain't gotta have height to be a lead rebounder. You just gotta have heart, hustle, and a lot of other things. Nash, Halley, and Marbury all averaged 12 plus assists. Darius was on the cusp, but he ain't in that elite group. But a lot of double-digit assist guys out here in the NBA, 10 to be exact. Steal leaders is gonna go to Allen Iverson, and he only averaged 28. Pfft, come on, AI. Only 28? Block leaders, Hakeem Olajuwon, Miles Turner still doing his thing, but he's in Washington now. And then Defensive Player of the Year. And then AI also led the league in turnovers. That kind of makes sense to me as well. All right, let's count how many people are 50, 40, 90. 50, 40, 90. Desmond Bain, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We already got Desmond Bain, Steph Curry, Darius Garland, Stephon Marbury. Oh my God, it goes on and on. Jerry Lucas was close. He's a big man. Jason Tatum, Tyler Hero. This is crazy. Paul George, that's 10. We're at 10. Make that 11. Damian Lillard. 12. Donovan Mitchell. 13. Trae Young. 14. LaMelo Ball. 14 players with 50, 40, 90 this season. 14. How many total in NBA history? There's 14 in the history of basketball and 14 this one season. Now, some of these people like Steve Nash did it a lot and Larry Bird did it a few times, but 14 total seasons. And we got that in 1 year in this simulation. All right, what team underperformed, overperformed? We saw the Cleveland Cavaliers were the best team in the conference. The Boston Celtics, yup. The Orlando Magic are here. Okay. All right, Orlando, stand up. The Miami Heat do their thing, barely getting in there outside the play-in. The Wizards were absolute buns with Mighty Mouse as their guy. But you know what? The rest of this core is all right, but it's just not good enough, I guess. The Bulls were bad as well. That's low-key a surprise. I think they got to upgrade that center position. I mean, having no center play sucks. Mike Muscala and Willie Hernan-Gomez, no disrespect to the FIBA MVP, right? That what he won? He won something like that. No disrespect to him, but man, it's bad. And out west, the Pelicans ended the season on a 13-game win streak where Boogie averaged 17, 7, and 5, or 6 if we rounded up. I said OKC was ready. I didn't think they was this ready. Number 2 seed. The Memphis Grizzlies are really, really good. They put Bob off the bench, even though I told them to start him and Jaren together, whatever. And then the worst ended up being the Clippers because even though they have the Defensive Player of the Year, they were one of the worst teams in basketball. Timberwolves ended the season on a 7-game losing streak, trying to tank their way out. And then, I mean, the Jazz were very close on their win streak to get out of the play-in, but the 8-game win streak wasn't enough. Allen Iverson and James Harden. I didn't even realize that was James Harden. Allen Iverson and James Harden on the same roster together is crazy. Here we go. Simulating through it. And you know what? I'm going to wait till we get to the conference finals to like care and try to potentially jump in. I mean, we might simcast the first couple rounds if we get to a game 7. But I don't want to jump in this early. No game 7s in the first round at all. All right. No upsets either, unless you call a 4-5 series an upset. I don't call that an upset. So no upsets in the first round. We do get a 3-4 upset. We got another series up here that might end up going 7. It does not. So we got a 1-2 and a 3 and a 4. Who's going to be the champion in year number 1? 3-2 on both sides. Game 7 on both sides. Uh-oh. All right, let's refresh ourselves. It's Penny Hardaway and Cade. That's actually a good matchup because Cade is a 91 overall at this point. Wendell Carter and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is crazy. Paolo and Beef Stew, Chris Middleton, Franz Wagner, same overall. This is a good series, man. Let's see if it's going to get us an entertaining game 7. The answer is no, not really. 20-point win for the Orlando Magic. I wanted it to be good. Kyrie really stepped up in his game 7 mode. Why pass the ball where you could shoot 11 for 17 from the field and hit 5 3-pointers? I wouldn't pass either. 20 free throw attempts from Penny Hardaway. 19 of his 25 points came at the free throw line. Wow. And Detroit just didn't have enough. All right, other game 7, 1-2 series. Let's see what this is. This is OKC and the Pelicans. So Boogie, who was a late addition, he's got a little revenge. He's mad at the other 29 GMs that he was the last pick in the first round. Again, he probably would have been drafted earlier, and they get blown out, it looks like, unless we get a big-time comeback, and it's a making for a comeback. Oh, my God. The Pelicans just came back to win that game. They were getting blown out, y'all. They were getting blown out in that game 7, down by almost 20 in the first quarter, and then dominated the rest of the game to get to the finals. And now we got Penny versus DeMarcus as the legends. But it's also just two young teams together. You know, two young teams going against each other. 1-1 series, 2-1 series, Orlando, 3-1 Orlando, and the Orlando Magic. And it wasn't even Penny to win Finals MVP. It is Paolo Banchero putting up 21, 10, and 4. And season 1 is wrapped. Wow, that's elite. That's elite. Player progression is here. I'm assuming that a lot of the legends are going to stay the same overall. Boogie got more badges. He had 17 badges last season. He's got 22. So the defending champions get a little bit worse with CJ McCollum getting worse and Jonas Valanciunas, and they didn't really add anything. Well, Kareem came in as a 34-year-old, so that was the risk you took, and he drops a whopping 4. So that's not great for your core. Bill Walton is still Bill Walton. Freddie drops with Pascal, and pretty much everybody else stays the same or got better in Scotty Barnes' case. Chris Paul got better at 25 years old. Shout out to him. Will he lead them to the playoffs? I don't know. They might have been there last year. I couldn't even tell you. Yeah, OKC is doing some crazy stuff. Chet is up to an 86. Giddey's up to a 90. Shea is a 94, and Vince Carter is a 98. I mean, if this team ain't the championship favorite, I don't know who is, because this is elite. And Kevin Love is still really good at an 81 overall. So, yeah, that's my pick right now. Steve Nash is getting worse. Dame is getting worse, but don't worry because Jerry Lucas is here. Dame Stoudemire is getting worse at 25 years old. He drops 2. That's crazy. He's already 5'10". He cannot afford to be getting worse. Tony Allen gets better. Forgot he was kind of here. No disrespect. Clippers just got all red arrows. Paul George, Ben Wallace, and Kawhi. Man, that's insane. I'm also looking to see if there's any big additions to other rosters. AI is getting worse. Oh, man. A lot of our legends are hitting that regression. You're 26 getting worse. You're Carmelo Anthony. This is your prime. You didn't even really started your prime yet. Dang, that's crazy. A lot of these dudes are getting worse. The Lakers, big 3 is still intact. Oh, Russell Westbrook here as well. Hey, I ain't looking to see the Lakers no time soon. They don't look like... Okay. I might as well end the video. 25-year-old Luka's getting worse? What is this about? I thought it was me. I put the bad versions of these players in. If 25-year-old Luka's getting worse, then nobody is saving the league. They said he was getting worse. I couldn't tell. 30-point triple-double for Luka Doncic. But he didn't hit 50, 40, 90, so is it even impressive? Doyle Malone, Rookie of the Year and 6th Man of the Year. That means a lot in this league. You are a 83 overall center, 4th overall pick. Wow. Hakeem Olajuwon wins Defensive Player of the Year. Most improved goes to Walker Kessler. A lot less of the legends. Dirk is here, though. Hey. Finally got some Dirk love, man. Finally got some Dirk love. He averages 30 again, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 50, 40, 88. I don't know about that Dirk. Chris Paul is finally here, 20 and 14, 50, 40. I don't know about that. Hit your free throws, kids. Practice your free throws, because you ain't going to get the respect of a YouTuber who doesn't even play basketball if you don't hit your free. Look at this. I got nothing but respect for Darius Garland. 26 and 12 plus 50, 40, 90. Yeah, you love that. LaMelo, 50, 40. Oh, man. LaMelo is better than Carmelo. Simple. He hit 50, 40, 90. There's the center. He did it. He finally got, or the power forward. He finally got it going. Okay. Let's see who wins this season. Will it be? Oh, yeah, the Cavs should be better. OKC's back as a 2 seed. The Pelicans are back here, even though they lost, you know, some people with some regression. No big deal. That doesn't matter. The Cavs are the heavy favorite out east. Point differential-wise, nobody's even close. They got the number 1 offense in the conference and the number 1 defense in the conference. They only lost 1 game in the division all season. Same thing with the Celtics, though. I feel good about their chances based on what this roster looks like. Look at it. And Colin Sexton is back. Sexton is back together. So, yeah, this team is ridiculous. I'm actually surprised that the Pelicans are doing this still. Won't be mad at them if they did it, but I still think OKC is the team. 99, Vince Carter. The Grizzlies have a chance, I guess. Let's see. So we did get a game 7 that went into overtime. Ja Morant put up a triple-double in this one, and Bob had 20 and 8 with 9 of 20 from the field. They won. That's all that matters. Carmelo, he had 7 offensive boards, but he could have shot it better. 1 for 8 from 3. 19 rebounds from Carmelo Anthony. He said my shot not falling, so I got to get it other ways. I respect it, but they end up getting eliminated. So we got a 1-5, a 2-3, a 1-4, and a 3-2. No game 7s. The OKC Thunder fall to Ja Morant. Man, come on, Vince Carter. Oh, come on, Vince Carter. You're a triple-double for sure, but like, again, poor shooting night for him. And we get the Pelicans back there, and we get my Cavaliers. I'm saying my Cavaliers because I predicted that it was going to be the team out east. And it might not be them because the Boston Celtics are here. Boogie versus Tatum. Can we get some repeat action from the Pelicans? Derek Coleman is there. He's the 3rd best player on the roster. He's supposed to be the legend. He's the 3rd best player on the roster. That's how crazy this team is. All right, let's get into it. Game 1 is the Pelicans win. And then the C's respond. The C's respond with 2 wins. Make that 3. Oh, the Pelicans almost force a game 7. And Jason Tatum takes home the finals MVP. The Celtics were in a position where no matter who they drafted, they was going to come out there looking like a champ because they already have an elite level roster with the Jays, and they just needed an extra piece, and they got that.